I'm nervous, but I'm pretty excited.
Feeling a little nervous, but I'm excited.
I do not and will not ever appreciate anybody who catfishes anybody.
I am so glad Jake the Catfish finally exposed himself online. Finally.
The entire experience was absolutely wonderful.
Girl, the drama behind this blind date photo shoot is honestly wild. This guy, Jacob Huff, went into it thinking he was finally meeting his future wife, but then he's coming out to say that he was totally catfished. Honestly speaking, Jacob didn't know anything about Paige. He has never seen Paige. This was a whole complete blind date, like a whole blind date type situation. The photographer actually shared the footage capturing how Paige and Jacob felt both before and after they met for the session. Leading up to it, they both admitted to feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. Now, Jacob was not aware of how Paige looked like and all of that stuff. You're going to hear him rant about how he was catfished. And at the end of this video, you're going to see the person who actually dated or who actually, I don't know, if he had a situationship with Jacob, explain how Jacob is. So without further ado, if you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let's get straight into it.
And I don't know how many more times I can take it because this is the fifth time this has happened to me. I do not and will not ever appreciate anybody who catfishes anybody. And I'm going to explain in a minute what I mean. Like I said, there's 5 instances that I was on IP Catfish. And I just want to take a moment and understand, like, you do realize that when you lie up to somebody about how you look, and whether it's that you're lying about your height, because I know men do that all the fucking time. Oh, I'm like 6'3". You're like, stop it. You're 5 foot and you get big. Let's chill out. Lying about your body, lying about your personality, lying about who you are. There's no way to cover that. When you go out and do this shit, you have to understand the second I see who you are, it's over. Yesterday, I went on a stranger session thing, and I know how a stranger session works. If you don't know how it works, the photographer meets you up with somebody. It's like a blind date. Now, this photographer asked what I wanted, and I gave her an AI photo that showed exactly what I wanted. To the detail. That AI photo I have, she's perfect. I'm like, she's not real. Yeah, I was realistic. I'm not going to be sitting here like, oh, you better give me a damn supermodel or, porn star or something. That's not something I am. It's not my type. I have a type. It's not that. Anyway, you take her every detail that she could possibly need. And the girl that she picked, based on the photos that girl had presented to her, she was perfect. The photos that the photographer showed me at the very end of it, she's like, this is what she looked like. I'm like, if she had looked like that, that would have been fucking perfect, dude. She had a great personality, and she was beautiful. She just was maybe 100 pounds heavier than a picture board. And I wish I was joking. And that's not to sit here and be ugly. Like, I'm literally saying that there is a difference between that. How she looked and how she does not. Call me shallow. Call me an asshole. Call me whatever you want. I have a preference around the apologize for it. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. I think I have every right to feel that level of attraction towards them. And I'm sorry I don't find somebody who is plus size to be attracted to me. I don't find it to be. People call me shallow because I have a rule. I will not date you if you're wider than I am. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to come across as ugly, but I also have standards. How can I expect you to love me and take care of me if you can't even do that for yourself? You can't. The point is, catfishing will never work. At all. And when I went to that training session, I walked into that actually building, it's showing me a wave. And I was waiting to come on the other side of the door, see this person for the first time. Like, you know what? It's going to be the greatest fucking time. Like, I pray to God, this is my life. The level of disappointment. And I know as a blind date, I know I was looking at too. The level of disappointment whenever I saw her, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I looked at the photographer, I'm like, she had no idea. It's song fault. The photographer had nothing to do with it. But I looked at her, I'm like, come, really? After some time, I got to be by myself with a photographer. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you had no idea. Don't be sorry. But She catfished the photographer. She catfished me. She catfished everybody. I'm like, why? Why did you? I understand that there's it's a blind date, so that, you know, you never know what to expect, but the lesson is this: just be yourself. If you're that desperate for someone to love you, wouldn't you want them to love you for who you actually are rather than what you could look like? Come on. Like, for fuck's sake, it's not that hard. I want my person to love me for who I am, what I look like. If they don't like a certain part of me, then that's okay. That's their preference. Not everyone's going to love how the way I look. Nobody's going to be okay with the way I look, and that's fine. But we can't sit here and play these fucking games and like, oh, he'll never notice that I'm fucking 100 pounds heavier. Yes, the fuck I will. Do fucking better. Jesus Christ.
My name is Paige. I'm from Adairsville, and I'm feeling a little nervous, but I'm excited.
Jake from Kingston, and I'm nervous, but I'm pretty excited.
I am so glad Jake the Catfish finally exposed himself online. Finally. I have a little story time of how I kind of know Jake. Back in early 2025, I was online dating and I matched with Jake on Hinge. He actually sent a like to me first and wrote out this long message. Like, it was very sweet. He complimented me. He found things in my profile to, talk to me about. Usually people don't put that much effort into a message. So of course I was like, I'll give this guy a shot, because unlike Jake, I wasn't really that concerned with looks. I was more into finding a good Christian man who was stable, who was like future focused. So I gave Jake a shot, even though he wasn't my type. After a few messages, he asked for my number and I said, sure, no problem. Here you go. He texted me and then immediately sent a screen recording of him deleting Hinge and all of the other dating apps off of his phone and said, since we're talking, I only want to talk and commit to getting to know you right now. And at first I was like thinking, like, this is intense. This is online dating. We've only exchanged a few messages back and forth and he's already wanting to commit to me when we don't even know each other. And I was like, maybe he's just really intentional with dating. Like, I kept trying to justify his behavior as normal. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just intentional with dating, and if he wants to do that, he can. So, and I just basically responded and said, thanks for telling me, but it's online dating. I'm going to continue to explore connections, but I would love to get to know you. And he was fine with that. We started to get to know each other more over the next couple of days. And he would tell me things about his ex-wife, because I had asked about his children. He was open about having children, and he showed me pictures of his ex-wife. And since he likes to talk about things in 100-pound increments, right? She was like about 100 pounds lighter than him. And he told me how physically abusive she was to him. And this is nothing that he has not spoken about online, so I'm not exposing anything. And he just talked horrible about her. Just bashed her. And that's red flag number 2, because anytime you're talking bad about the mother of your children, I have a pause, because I think you're just projecting that you actually were the one in the wrong. But again, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, maybe he's just trying to be super open. I'll keep talking to him. The texting quickly turned into him calling me all the time. He works, I don't remember if it was second or third shift. He's like a fighter jet mechanic. So he would call me during every break that he knew that I was awake, because I just worked like a normal 9-to-5 job. So he'd call me on like 6 p.m. break and then a 9 p.m. break. And then he'd call me like 3 p.m. on the way to work. Maybe it was final shift, whatever, third shift. I don't know. But I was like, thought it was like, okay, that's kind of nice. He's trying to get to know me when he can. Like, I know he's a dad, he works full time. Like, I was like, this is nice. But it just became intense within a couple of days. And the week we started talking, the next weekend was the Super Bowl. And he was telling me, oh, I want to have a Super Bowl party at my house, and I'm going to invite all my coworkers. And then like I talked to him a few hours later, and he's like, I invited everyone and no one's going to come. Like, I just try so hard to have friends. I try so hard to be a good guy, and just nobody reciprocates it. And I'm just like, if you were really a good guy, you would freaking have friends to come to your Super Bowl party. Like, it just started to make me feel weird. And it was intense. The amount of texting, the amount of just how much he tried to be the good guy. I remember him asking me on one conversation, like, what are some chores that you don't like? And I was like, oh, I really hate doing and folding laundry. And he was like, when we're together, I will do all of the laundry because you are the woman. I should be waiting on you hand and foot. Oh, you don't like to cook? What's your favorite meal? I'll cook you my favorite meal. Like, just basically parroting everything you would think you would want somebody to say, which is usually not normal and it's not healthy, right? Okay, so the final thing for me that I was like, this guy's just too much. He had been trying to also plan a date for us, and this was going to be like a 5-hour day. He wanted to go to like dinner and mini golf and ice cream, and like for a first date, that's intense. I don't want to give you 5 hours of my day on a first date. I don't know you. Like, I'm more like, let's go grab coffee, or like, let's go meet somewhere public and just walk around and talk. Like, it can be super simple. So I was already feeling turned off by that. I had an appointment to go get my hair done, and he was like, oh, please send me a picture when you get your hair done. Like, I just want to see how beautiful you look. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll take an ego boost and send you a photo, right? So I sent him a photo, and he was just like, God, you're just so beautiful. You are just way out of my league. I'm such a loser compared to you. I don't know what you're even doing talking to me. And it's like, what? The lack of confidence in the victim, and it was just all too much. It was so much red flag. So by this point, I already just decided that the next day I was going to cut it off and tell him I'm not going on that date Saturday, and this was Thursday. I go to dinner with my friend after getting my hair cut. I come out of dinner and I have a text from a friend who's single and also dating, and I'll put the screenshots here. She basically said, how do you know this guy, Jake? Because he had added me on Facebook. He added me on all social media. And I was like, you can see the message. We've been talking on social media, and it sounds like it's past tense, but I had still technically been talking to him at this point. And this is the guy that told me he deleted all of his dating apps to speak to me. So I immediately sent him all of that, and I was like, I don't know why you make this effort to make it sound like you only want to talk to one girl at one time, and you're clearly still on the dating apps, which is fine, but the lying about it and trying to act like you're a certain kind of gentleman and you only talk to one girl, like, it's too much. Like, I do not want to go out with you, blah blah blah. He flipped out on me, blocked me, whatever. Fine, cool, moving on with my life. I was scrolling TikTok a few months later, and he came up on my For You page because he has a TikTok with, like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30,000 followers, where he just talks about his boo-hoo woes of dating, how women don't like him and how he's such a gentleman, how he wants to do all these nice things, and he likes to like yell at the camera and like lecture, like, if you're not fully healed, you shouldn't be dating. I'm healed. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna be the best partner, and if you're not ready, you shouldn't be out there because you're wasting my time. I put so much into me. I have so much to give. He's just like always angry at the camera, and I saw it and I was like, what on earth? So I go and binge his page. And at that time, he was talking to like another girl, I think, that he had met online, and he was like posting her like, oh, I can't wait to meet this beautiful girl. And I had a couple glasses of wine. I'm sober now, but I had a couple glasses of wine, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave a comment. And I said something like, oh, I'm glad you found somebody, but just to give you some feedback from when we were talking, I think you get a little bit intense with people quick, and maybe just calm it down. Maybe I shouldn't have commented that. Maybe the wine shouldn't have talked, but he basically went off on me saying, I'm just upset because I lost the best thing that I could have ever had, and how I was just going to be like a sorry loser alone forever, which is just funny because a couple months after that, I met my now fiance. So I don't think I'm the problem. It was just a total turn off. And so after all of that, I'm like, this guy clearly is mentally ill. Maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe he's actually one abusive. I don't know. And then just to see this whole story go viral about him being the biggest, like, you're like the biggest contradiction. You literally go on your freaking page and talk about how much of a Southern gentleman you are, and how you just want to be a husband, and you want to be the best partner, and you want to do all these things and wait on this woman hand and foot and all these things. If that were true, looks wouldn't even matter to begin with, because I wasn't looking for somebody that was the most attractive person. I was just looking for someone that had a good heart and we had the same morals and values, right? So to get online and then body shame a woman and talk nastily about her because she rejected you, because if you watch all the content, she said he asked for her number and she pretty much said, no thank you, I'm not interested. So then you turn to the internet, to your followers of women who are under some spell that think you're this big gentleman that you're actually not, just to sit there and comment and validate you. And it flipped. It flipped, and you're getting what you deserve. And I just wanted to share my experience and my story, because I don't know, I can't diagnose someone. I don't know the whole history of this guy, but he gave me a seriously uncomfortable gut feeling, and the red flags were going. I only talked to him for about a week. I shouldn't have let it go on as long as I did, definitely. But I think all women just need to be wary of this guy until he gets help. I hope no woman goes on a date with him, and I hope all of this was a big, huge lesson for him. And to the beautiful girl, I believe her name was Paige, you're gonna find a really, really amazing guy, because this guy's a loser.